But while many other groups are telling us what we can't do, DU has been showing us what we can do for over 35 years. And it's that can-do spirit that I believe in. I feel that this outfit deserves our support. And by support, I mean dollars. So if you got any extra, don't forget, Ducks Unlimited.
The formula had been blessedly simple. Marshal the duck hunters of the United States into a mighty army of concerned conservationists. Have them raise lots of money for the ducks and send the money north to Canada, where engineers would reshape the land so that even in dry years there would be water for the ducks. But then came habitat losses on a massive scale. Chesapeake Bay grew polluted, and there was little food for the canvasbacks that once poured into the bay during both spring and fall migrations. Thousands of miles of canals dug through the vast marshlands along the Louisiana and Texas Gulf Coast allowed salt water to flow into the fragile coastal wetlands, devastating the freshwater plants that held the marsh together. The most important wintering grounds in the Pacific Flyway suffered a similar fate. Drainage, pollution, cultivation, and redirection of water left far less room for ducks. Migration habitat, especially important to waterfowl during the northward journey, was also disappearing. After 46 years of concentrating its efforts strictly in Canada and Mexico, DU was about to go to the U.S.
Ancient ritual playing out in the skies over the Great Plains this week, one that comes along every fall and yet never fails to impress.
The first DU projects in the United States would be delivered in Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Other projects followed swiftly. Regional offices had to be formed, and the first was established in Bismarck, North Dakota in 1984. The Great Plains Regional Office now works in 8 states, from Minnesota and Iowa west through North and South Dakota, Nebraska, Colorado, and Montana. DU's Western Regional Office was opened in 1987. The WRO works across a huge swath of this continent that is as varied as it is large. DU staff based in these offices are actively working to conserve the diverse habitats that support the Pacific Flyway's waterfowl. The Southern Regional Office, located in Ridgeland, Mississippi, was established in 1990 to protect and restore wetlands and other wildlife habitat in the southeastern United States, but especially in the Mississippi alluvial valley and along the Gulf Coast. Lastly, the Great Lakes Atlantic Regional Office, located in Ann Arbor, Michigan, was established in 1998. With DU conservation initiatives underway from the Chesapeake Bay across the Great Lakes to the boreal forests along the Canadian border, the Galeros area of operation is almost as varied as that of the WRO. DU would soon help to restore the habitat in Mexico. And in 1989, DU opened its Governmental Affairs Office in Washington, D.C. to help encourage policies and secure funding for programs that would be required to achieve the North American Waterfowl Management Plan's goals.
When this organization was founded in the Dust Bowl days, there was just a handful of you committed to preserving and restoring our wetlands. And just about that time, a few hunters got together and formed a little group called Ducks Unlimited. And thank goodness they did.
I wanted to come here today because this is a huge success. You're doing the right thing, and you're doing it in the right way.
But perhaps the volunteers can best explain why this project is so important.
It gives me hope that great visions can become reality if people work together for a good end. It'll be here for me, for my little brother and sister, for my nephew, for my children, and for all the future generations of this area and of this nation.
Without borders and without boundaries, DU would become the world's leader in wetlands conservation. No conservation organization in the history of the world has sustained such effort, grown to such levels, raised as much money, or conserved as many acres as Ducks Unlimited.